Peace. This is Amun Asha Renew from asharenew.com. Tonight I want to speak on the topic of extraterrestrial life on Venus or any other planet, in that fact, and the entire idea of colonizing other planets so that they will eventually be inhabitable. Stories of planetary travel or star travel date back to Mesoamerican mythology, where there are various artistic pieces or statues dedicated to the flight between stars. This information has been available to us for quite some time, but we had never been able to actually prove it according to science. However, according to the older ancestors, especially Elijah Muhammad, it was told to us that we came from Mars. So this is not a new idea when we speak about extraterrestrial life on other planets, as we had to progress through the planets to make it to Earth, according to the Ascended Masters. So being as though that is the case, it is no coincidence why space travel and these topics are coming to birth in the times of the age of Aquarius. This raised another question. What about aliens? Is there life, living intelligence outside of the planet Earth? Are there time portals, star portals that connects to different galaxies? All of these topics have already been discussed. However, science now has demoted the study of these things because, for one, we did not separate astronomy from astrology. Since the 17th century, or the scientific revolution, astrology has been separated from astronomy. So every time we receive news from these space programs and companies, they are only considering astronomy, not astrology, as it is deemed pseudoscience. So because astrology is deemed pseudoscience, we're only going to begin to speak about these things in terms of what a robot can show us from Mars, as they have robots on Mars that can take 4K photos and the such. But it cannot live stream, as they don't have access to that form of technology just yet, where you could live stream from space with video. So this is all technology progressing, or this is what we are told to believe, because we are not making any progress when we study the planets haphazardly. In other words, if you separate astrology from astronomy and then try to understand the universe, or rather just the solar system, We don't have to speak about the entire universe, just the solar system. Without the understanding of astrology, without the understanding of numerology, without the understanding of the Kabbalah, without the understanding of these occult sciences, there's only so much information you can get just by looking at these planets from a telescope. So, will they be able to prove that extraterrestrial life exists on other planets? In a microcosmic form, yes. We also know that recently, in the year of 2020, the Pentagon began to release information about UFOs and the such. Which again, the first person to speak about UFOs or the mothership, once again, was Elijah Muhammad. And once they confiscated his suitcase when he was arrested in the 50s, 15 years later, we were on the moon, or 12 years later, whatever year in the 60s it was. I believe it was 65, but I can be mistaken. 15 years later, we're on the moon after they confiscate his documents. So we cannot say that this is an original idea because they had no idea about any of these things prior to the Ascended Masters speaking on them. But they will not pursue the study in the correct fashion. It must be downgraded. It must be scientifically understood and not occultically understood. Because once you would take the occult away from the understanding of the planets, you are left with nothing more than just mathematics, numbers, and equations that ultimately don't allow you to foresee anything. There's also been talk that there is some type of asteroid or the such that will get extremely close to the planet Earth around election time. An astrologer would be able to tell you exactly what that means. But because astrology has fell out of favor, all they can do is predict and tell you what could happen without being definite. They really don't know, because how could they know? Because the art of prediction rests with astrology, not astronomy. So this is my conclusion about these topics: extraterrestrial life on different planets, the mothership, UFOs, and the such. And I bear peace.